So let's go into core energy. So this is another really huge breakthrough that we had when we realized that there's these opposite energies, and we weren't feeling this attraction towards each other. This was it. So regardless of gender, you have both masculine and feminine energy. We both have masculine and feminine energy. We're going to break down what that means. Understand your own core energy and align yourself, you'll be more happy. So if my core energy is masculine, but I'm operating in a feminine mode, I'm not going to be happy. If her core energy is feminine, but she's operating in a masculine mode, she's not going to be happy. Now, we both can use masculine and feminine energy for different things, different time. But when you're together with your mate, you want to be in opposite energies. That's what creates attraction. Just like a magnet, opposites attract, right? So if she's been working all day and she's kicking butt and taking names, operating in masculine, that's cool, good for business. When she comes home, when she is done for the day, if she just like flips a switch and goes into feminine, that's going to create the attraction if I'm in my masculine state. So if you have things in common, that's a relationship. But if you have things opposite, it's where passion and electricity comes from. So we were, like again, our story, we were in this place where we had all these things in common. We were doing everything, functionally, but we didn't have the opposites. We didn't have the separateness, and we didn't have the opposites. So those are the two things we're giving you tonight. When stressed or tired, by the way, you tend to put on the mask of the opposite energy. So Tanya's, really strong in this. When she's a feminine woman. She's just a beautiful, sexy, feminine woman. But when she's stressed, boy, does she go masculine. She's like, I gotta take control. I gotta take charge. I gotta control it. Where a feminine energy would be more looking for the leader, wanting to surrender and be led than to take charge. So if she's stressed or tired, she has to kind of watch out for that. And
and I have a career where I do need to operate in the masculine. So when I'm working, I am in masculine in order to be able to do my job. And I didn't realize I was bringing that home, and it was affecting our relationship. And he's not going to fight me on it. So he just backed down, and it was like killing our relationship. Mm-hmm. And we have found this in a lot of marriages where the masculine and feminine energy, they've actually like both are in masculine, or the wife's in masculine and the guy's in feminine, which is okay, like it's fine. But when you come to the bedroom, it doesn't work out so well, because most women core energy is feminine, and most men the core energy is masculine.
So there's no passion or desire without polarity. So this was huge for us when we discovered this truth, and we started to embrace it, and we started to be intentional about it. All of a sudden, like, we thought we were incompatible. We didn't tell you that in our story. We were just like fed up. Like, I was like, I need sex regularly. I need it more often. I need it all the time. She was like, well, I could take it or leave it most of the time. I need it once in a while. And we were just like, this was a source of contention for years. Well, it was like flip a switch once we figured this out. Once we figured out, okay, embrace masculine, embrace feminine, the rest took care of itself. Like, after 20 plus years of sex with each other, all of a sudden we're having the most, it is like a crazy, amazing, I won't go into all the details, but it was the best sex we ever had after 20 years of sex. I'm talking about, we've changed a lot as people and in relationship over 20 years. And to say that and then have the best sex ever, it was amazing. And it's just because of this truth here. So here's what it looks like. The feminine wants to be wanted, while the masculine wants to be needed. These are just the differences. Feminine focuses on everything. Masculine focuses on one thing. If there's a problem, the feminine wants to share and connect about it. Masculine wants to solve it. Feminine is more interested in safety, where masculine is more interested in freedom. Feminine is a radiant flow, which is, do you want to describe that? Or is
Just
that
like everything
obvious?
is it's flowing. Like it's like kind of like a creek. Like everything just
Mm,
naturally flowing down and going well. Where masculine is steadfast and steady,
yeah.
like a rock.
Yeah, feminine naturally loves, like, there's no question that just love flows, right? Where men, it's more respect. We just operate in the language of respect. We have to be more intentional about loving, and while women have to be more intentional about respecting. Feminine lives to nurture, where masculine lives to hunt and conquer. Like, we feel more fully alive when we're hunting and conquering. Caring versus protective, intuition versus logic, collaborative versus competitive, emotional versus rational. Feminine's very go with the flow typically, where masculine's goal oriented and assertive. We got process versus outcome. And here's really a descriptor. Feminine wants to be swept away, wants to let go, and is like a storm, like a weather pattern. Like, it can be sunny one moment and torrential downpour the next. The feminine is like that, and it just is, that's that flow. Where masculine, we need to be tethered, we need to be connected to our source, we need to be stable. And you see how these two things go together so well. If you've got a masculine male that is this stable force, and this feminine female who is this flowy and energetic and all over the place force. Those two things are so polar opposite, but they are also exactly what the other needs. Like, I would be so boring and so stable and so like stuck in a pattern every single day of my life if it wasn't for her influence in my life. And I know that any couple who operates in these energies and their core energies feels the same. Like, it would be missing so much.
Yeah, and it's interesting when you look at these, you'll see like if you've had kids, or you have like if you have a boy and a girl, you can really see these, especially when they're young. But then as they're growing up, like a lot of times, like society, school, different things like that, they try to tame those things. Like I was taught, I graduated college, went on a pretty steady career path, and was taught like in the masculine in order to survive in the workplace, but it doesn't work so well in a marriage. And same with the guys, they're taught, go into the feminine if you want to be a good, good in your, in your relationships. And so you
Or
can,
just a good boy overall
yeah,
in
a good boy
class.
in class.
You got
And
it.
so you see these things, like if seen a child and their natural instincts are, typically like this. And this is where it's like we get these society messages as we're growing up, and then we think like, well, that makes me, at least for me, it was like, well, that would make me weak. I need to take care of myself, and I need to take care of, the family, and I need to do this, and I need to do that. And then you end up either fighting all the time with your spouse, or they end up backing down and going more into the feminine, and then you get mad as a woman because you're like, why are you taking care of me? Why I have to take care of everything? And it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you really, like when I first heard this, it took me a while to digest it because I'm a little hard-headed. I know it's hard to believe, and I was like, that's bullshit. And then I'm not doing that. And then as I thought about it and digested it, I was like, and I went deep with it. I was like, oh, that's right. And it has made a huge impact on my life because I still operate in masculine in my job. But I know how to switch to feminine now in my relationship with my husband. And it's really helped me become, a better wife and a better lover for him. And I've also, it's just more like at peace and balance with who I naturally am, rather than feeling like something is off.